Hey there, all you YouTubers out there in YouTube land. This is Kelly. So, kind of give you guys a little update. As far as like the real estate and our primary residence, we did a land contract, or we actually did some marketing here in Eau Claire about 3-4 years ago. We put up a bunch of bandit signs. I mean, we literally peppered this whole city with bandit signs. We'd put out 25 at a crack. And before I realized it, I mean, we were putting bandit signs on the off ramps or on ramps. Um, we did quite a few of them on them ramps. And before I actually noticed, there was a sign that was right on the ramp that said no stopping on the ramp. So, but yeah, and then the city got after us for it. But before they did get after us for it, guy's mom was driving down the road, and I mean, we got a lot of phone calls from the bandit signs. Like, you put your phone number on there. We buy houses, cash, or whatever you want to put on your bandit sign. And I mean, we fielded a lot of phone calls, and one guy's mom happened to be driving down the road and seen one of our bandit signs out of the 25 we had up at the time. I mean, we did this for several months. A lot of times we'd put them on the weekends, pick them back up, and then I think we just left the signs out there when they stopped mowing the lawn in the fall. It was October, November, whatever month it was. But anyways, yeah, one person out of all them signs and all them people calling, his mom happened to be driving past the sign, and she must have knew her boy was looking to sell his house, and she mentioned, got the phone number and mentioned it to him, and he called me. And initially, I was just going to try to wholesale the house because, we were living in a mobile home at the time, I believe, and I marked it up, and he was kind of asking too much for the condition it was in. It was a fixer-upper. And so I tried to mark it up to get a spread off the wholesale deal, and I marketed it, and just nobody was interested in it. And I did talk to another wholesaler here in town, and he basically told me, he says, "Hey man, you're asking too much money for this." So over a period of months, got to know the owner really well, and from trying to market his property and do the wholesale for him. Now, one mistake that I did make was that initially I told him I was going to find a buyer for his house, but I did not tell him that we were going to be interested in buying it, which is eventually what happened because we couldn't find another buyer, and we were looking to upgrade and get into a house, get out of the mobile home. And so that kind of set him back on his heels a little bit because what I should have told him up front was, either either I will find a buyer or I will buy it myself. And it's not that I was trying to be dishonest at all, but it just it never occurred to me from the get go that we might want to buy it. So, but then after I explained it to him, and he got over it, luckily, and because trust is a major factor in working with people. I mean, this is their home. It's tens of thousands of dollars, like in this case. So we trust somebody, and they didn't tell you something right up front. But that was the one mistake, I would say, primary mistake that I made. So yeah, we did end up buying the house on a land contract, and we didn't really have a down payment. I guess you could say we had a deferred down payment. So there was no down payment made when we actually bought the house. But I did promise to put a roof on the house because the roof was in bad condition, and we ended up putting a metal roof in the contract. We were going to put a roof on in the summer, and it actually got to be later than that. We actually put the roof on in the fall, which was fine, but we were a little late, but we got her done. So I guess you could say putting a new roof on was a form of a down payment, but it was deferred till later down the line. Supposed to be like 3 months or so, and ended up being like 6 months. summertime we finally got the metal roof on the house. But so now, finally, after about 3 4 years now in the land contract too, when we had set up the actual contract, um, the it was only supposed to be for I believe a year or two, before we got refinanced and got our own mortgage, and we're going on year 3 or 4 here. Luckily, there again, the the previous owner that we were in the land contract with, because he's basically the bank. He had a mortgage at RCU, but luckily he was able willing to work with us, and here we are in year 3 or 4, and we we're all set up now to do a refinance finally at Charter Bank here in Eau Claire. That's going to happen on August 2nd, so in about 2 weeks on a Friday, we got to go in and finally get our own financing, mortgage on a house that we already have owned for 3 or 4 years. Our name is on the deed, so we are the owners of the property. So pretty excited about that. And we also were able to do a loan to value, so we're actually going to be getting slightly more than what the house needs to be paid off for. So we'll have some extra money to do whatever we want with, repairs or whatnot. So obviously we're gonna have, and then RCU did sell the mortgage to another bank. So the other bank will be paid off in full. They're gonna get their money, and then whatever's left over, I'm gonna guess, I don't know, 6,000 or whatever it is. We'll have a little extra money, give or take. I don't know, 6,000 or 5,000. We'll find out here shortly. But yeah, the mortgage that's existing, I believe, is a little over 40,000, and then a loan to value on 60,000 is the appraised price, so maybe 48,000. But then I'm sure there's closing costs and then um, yeah, closing costs, and we got to pay for the appraisal, stuff like that. So all that's going to be wrapped into the mortgage, and um, so yeah, we'll see how it all plays out. But yeah, really excited to be getting our own financing. And Charter Bank is an excellent bank to go through. I've talked to some of my investor buddies. We joined a local RIA club in Eau Claire here, and they mentioned Charter Bank was a good one to go through. Also was referred to, Charter was also referred to me through Mike Venable down at Venable Title in Eau Claire. So one cool thing about Charter Bank is that it's they do their own in-house loans. So where some banks their only financing available is from a larger bank, so you could do like a 30-year fixed or whatever. But Charter has the ability to lend their own money, which a lot of banks aren't able to do that, but Charter is. So that's one of the reasons we did try to get a 30-year fixed through Charter, but the house needs more fix. We have done some fixing up. We put some brand new soffit and fascia on there. Put some new flooring in the kitchen and whatnot. But I mean, it needs a lot more work yet. It's very livable and everything. It's just it needs more improvements, I guess they call them. And we are doing more. We have a couple new doors lined up to be put on, so a couple windows to be put in. So that'll probably be done then. Thinking later this year, because the contractor we're working with is extremely busy, but he does very good work. So, and we're not in a super dead rush to get doors and windows. The ones that we have on there are working. It's just we got to get some newer stuff on there. Um, so yeah, I'm really excited. I'm trying to remember what the heck else I was gonna say here. Um, but yeah, there's a lot that I can say or can be said, but this is the main thing. Well, another good place to get financing is through it's a credit union. I want to say It's not RCU. I mean, RCU is a good place too, but I think it's West Wisconsin Credit Union. Yeah, they're I've heard other than Charter, they're excellent to work through too. I did go down there, and they want me to pay for the appraisal up front, where Charter was willing to pay for the appraisal up front themselves. So that's why I just went with Charter. It was more of the for sure bet. And I'm sure I'll be doing some business with Wisconsin Credit Union down the road. They're excellent. Uh, could have possibly got a 30-year fix through them, but I guess that's kind of the gamble. I wouldn't know that. I was able to even get the loan and then have to pay for the appraisal. So we just are happy to get financing through anyone basically, and Charter was there for us. So I'm very excited to be working with them. Um, and then another thing too, I'm going to do is set up an LLC, which I've also done that in the past. But get an LLC set up, and then should be able to get a business line of credit once I get the LLC and the paperwork in order. Um, Line of credit's great to have because sometimes unexpected things come up, and if you got some cash on hand uh, that you're able to borrow from to cover those little surprises or emergencies, maybe I don't know, want to do some repairs on the house, or a storm or whatever. I mean, you could, car breaks down. Of course, gotta have to get that paid back right away, but yeah, it's just really handy to have that because sometimes if you got a major problem and you ain't got no money to take care of it with, then um, it can cause more worser problems if you don't. It's a stitch in time type of thing. Anyways, this is Kelly. Decided to run that all past you guys. So yeah, we did.